Autocross in Britain has long been a sport of the enthusiasts, and the weekend races have many a keen battle. Times, gravity wins. Homemade specials and ancient saloons provide and often keep going as others stand and steam. Minis have long been favourites of the sport and are still potential winners with their front-wheel drive formula. The long-suffering angliers have many a tough battle and a few spins. Organisation is all part of the scene, and good communications are important for all eventualities. Accidents do happen, but help is always on hand, and generally, only the cars are bent. Marshals and club organisers work hard to clear the course and collect the bits together for an extensive rebuilding job from kit form once more. Sideways motoring on grass is all part of autocross, and the drivers soon learn how to handle their cars like experts. A few helpful tips on lubrication and the right choice are important factors in this sport of hot engines and bumpy ways. This type of fresh air racing gives a greater sense of speed, with the loose ground beneath and the uncertainty of the next corner or bump, plus the antics of one's opponents. The cockpit of this saloon, denuded of luxury, echoes the busy engine as the pilot fights to keep the correct course and all opposition at bay. Like most sports, autocross has become more specialized since the early days when any weekend family hack could win. Early morning starts are not always bright, even in the summer, but the intrepid competitors gather just the same, most Sundays, throughout the season. Soon, the misty surrounds are thickened by cold engines, voicing their disapproval as carburetors are choked into action. Tony Straker has his Sprite sounding healthy and offloads ready for scrutineering. The paddock is busy with preparation, and Tony finds the RAC scrutineer in an exuberant mood. But all is well. Don Gillam's work-supported Mini looks and sounds in good form for the day's sport. Many pretty things are found under bonnets. Even superchargers. And with an expert touch, Alan Allard checks the Mini's song. Safety belts are essential for autocrossing, and full harness is best. All in order, the blown Mini is passed for action. And the hatch is battened down. To amble off for practice in the next field. In damp conditions, power can be embarrassing. Don Gillam soon has the Mini's blown horses under control, and the turf is left flying in all directions on his way to recording a good practice time. Martin Wright's escort takes its turn on the practice pad, with a friendly rival to chase him round. The mud-flinging display brings Martin's morning run to an end and lunch with the family. Chance to show off their treasured machinery, the grand parade heralds the end of lunch and the start of hostilities. Peter Cook's Special is an ideal mount for autocrossing, and with its well-proven suspension, hugs the course, unlike this special, well-named Leapabout. Whatever the car, correct suspension settings are essential. Otherwise, taking off is too easy. Our friend Leapabout is embarrassed by power or something. But as they say, a miss is as good as a mile. Still going, but where? We think the finish is the other way. Or are all the others wrong? Homeward bound at last, Leapabout finishes with a somewhat frustrated jockey. Not all British summers are wet, and on occasions it does not rain at all, which gives the autocross exponents experience of flying blind in a dust storm. The desert conditions pose their problems, and marshals get excited on occasions. Maybe it's because they don't allow three-wheelers in the sport, but at least it's novel. Whenever your car has its nose out of joint, remember, save it to build another day. The club may even supply a get-you-home service with a bit of luck. Delays are short, and the wheels are soon moving once more. If the dust gets too bad, cars are run singly for safety, although the rhythmic starter still gets his fill as Terry Allwood gets away. Autocross can have a grand national atmosphere. Dick Noble successfully jumps Hurricane over Beecher's Brook, followed by Ken Piper. Fortunately, Ken was only bruised. So the meeting carried on, with the old but still fiery Zephyr setting the pace to end the day. Autocross has many traditions, and prize giving is no exception. Holiday time in the West, and the spectator appeal of four abreast racing. Sometimes they go really gay and appear to let the whole entry off at once. The large crowds of spectators do, however, enjoy the thrills and spills. Help is always on hand, and the quickly aged Cortina and driver receive immediate aid. One can see why it's important to at least start with a safe car, if not a safe driver. Scrutineers look over cars, completely checking rollover bars, brakes, bearings, wheels, tires. Well-secured batteries. In fact, everything connected with safety and conformity with the class and vehicle eligibility and requirements. Competitors have many bright ideas, like a starter and ignition switch which operates from outside, so that in trouble, the car can be stopped by a track marshal or whoever is first to the rescue. Good ideas don't always work. Scrutineering is a serious business, and much deep discussion occurs during the period before practice.
Thank you.
The experienced imp exponent, Dave Lambert, leads the way to the start line, his car in sparkling condition. The flag drops and Lambert rockets the imp into orbit. A good start is vital, and the first away has an obvious advantage, especially if you can get the car to fly like Dave. A fine run, and the finish of the morning sport as the paddock is sighted. And time for refreshment and nourishment can be taken. Some prefer food, and a queue for a steaming hot dog and coffee. It all tastes much better in the fresh air, and the chance of a ride in a buggy is eagerly taken by the young ones before the wheels spin once more for the afternoon session. Those antics must make the brave marshals feel like surrendering. However, the battles become keener as the day wears on, and there's many a mini scrap. The rear engine class is keenly contested by imps and VWs in various states of tune. Some are less modified, but this can soon be arranged. A beetle on its back needs help, and it's always available from the many voluntary supporters of the sport. Other than a headache, the driver is okay, and receives comfort, or is it advice, for his next public performance. The Volkswagen is soon on its feet, somewhat devalued in price after the roll. The breakdown van is needed, although the ever-present St. John's ambulance thankfully is not. However, it's comforting to know that all this wonderful service is on hand in such a situation. All's well except for the dented Beetle, worth a little less after its magnificent cartwheel. More and more autocross cars are transported to the venues on trailers. It saves the embarrassment of walking home and cleaning the car for work on Monday morning. Guards are already in position, and the defences are busily erected. Drivers should walk the course before runs are commenced. As exhausts are cleared, and keen ones polish their pride, despite the forthcoming dirt bath. Tony Straker calls on Duckham's competition manager, Ron Carnell, at the caravan.
Hello, Tony. How's the car been generally through the season?
Very, very reliable. Engine's been fine, gearbox, back axle, no trouble at all.
What actual engine have you got in this one?
Basically it's a 1000cc BMC engine with a Formula Junior crankshaft to give it a bit more reliability.
Yes.
But apart from that, it's really very standard.
Twin carbs?
Twin SUs, it hasn't got a Weber on it. Because of the comparatively hard suspension and light weight of the car, the bumpy circuit makes it very, very difficult. And all independent cars gain a definite advantage because the sprung to unsprung rate is improved.
I see.
Here, the whole car goes up and down over the bumps instead of the suspension going up and down and the body remaining stable. So it's very, very difficult to handle.
Some folks have all the trouble, but with plenty of effort, a matter of difference can be overcome. If your friendly tyre dealer is not on hand, tyres on wide wheels can prove stubborn. But you're never alone in autocross. And it's a good time to learn, although a spare could prove less painful. Driving an open special gives a greater feeling of speed, like a Grand Prix on grass. Even our cameraman has fun in this dusty display as the countryside flashes by. Straker's Sprite leads the lively bunch, challenged by the ever-pressing Minis. The best way to view autocross is from the hot seat. Even if you're not the winner first time, there's always another day. Early morning at Brookthorpe, deep in the county of Gloucestershire. The national autocross champion, John Bevan, rouses his Naveb special from the confines of his garage for the BT and RDA Grand Final at Sutton Coldfield, many miles away. Bevan's engineering ability is evident from his ingeniously pivoted trailer, and his fast mount has that confident air. A final check, and business is closed for the day, in the quest for yet another national title. venue looks great, and the usual chores have to be done, and it all rather ticks like clockwork. The paddock is well awake, and the traffic already shows promise. Interest is evident, and advice is always available, but real experts generally say very little. Attention to detail pays off, and Rob Lyle makes sure his special, named Grot Box, is in tip-top tune, ready for action. The TBR flies round under the official eye, and the grand man of autocross, Arnold Butcher, flings his Lotus by. John Bevan has full support in his camp as he prepares for his run. The oval track is already warm as John belts up, ready for his turn. Another homespun special warms the course for Bevan, who's ready to go. It's easy to see why Bevan is hard to beat, as he motors gently back to his camp with a cracking time to his credit. Even for a top exponent like John, a fast, trouble-free run early in the competition is a relief, although it's still hot work. Times are taken and compared by the enthusiastic ones. Others sun themselves and just add to the scenery. Some take the business seriously and technicalities are discussed. Hey, is that a nut down there? The going is hot off the track as well, and trading is brisk to cool the family down. At this age, there are many delights other than autocross. Like a jousting knight, the rider rattles by, as others stand and wait. The Spitfire brushes by. Some competitors bring everything but the kitchen sink along, and still there's not enough to keep the motors running. Unfortunately, the championship event has to be run one car at a time, due to the dusty conditions, which from the paddock don't look too good. Rob Lyle has his mini special working well, but for others, it's all too much. And unlike this mini, does not respond to enthusiastic attention. The Bevan camp looks confident as the final eliminating runs are near. Paul Harold hustles his potent Volkswagen round as the evening draws near and the dips seem even deeper. The dust storm thickens, but nothing can stop John Bevan from winning. champion must have the competitive spirit, but like all followers of autocross, enjoy the challenge, fun and friendship of a thrilling sport which is here to stay.